Kevin, the spinners yesterday, and with that extra bounce, I think spinners is only the one to go to at the moment.
Looking to cut that away, Timothy David. He hasn't shown me today the same composure. Came in when they had lost a couple of wickets, he made sure that he rebuilt the innings. He's had it a long time. Towards the end of the innings, he started to explode. He still had wickets in hand, which is why they were disappointed that he get to an extra 30 or so runs. Today he hasn't looked calm. Customer that I saw yesterday. Again, to heave that over the onside field. Yes, he continued with his game plan yesterday, getting down the ground. We saw that that's when we've done that throughout the competition, have been successful. Katka was the other one yesterday evening. Whirlwind innings of 6 not out, just 52 deliveries.
Yeah, that was some knock, and Tim equally had a great knock yesterday. I thought that Paris was well supported yesterday with his partner in Lolo, and maybe Tim felt that yesterday there wasn't enough support with his partners. Really express himself enough yesterday. That's going to be out. Stumped.
Well bowled by Ryan Bull. He saw Narendra Dutta telegraph his intentions, come down the wicket and just bowled a little bit flatter. Good work by Richmond Mutumbami behind the stumps, very quick and very smart, and Singapore lose their third wicket at the end of the 10th over, 83 for 3. One thing, the new man in comes in at a time where Singapore was sitting quite comfortably. Started off a rapid run rate of above 10. You'll expect that once the power play was done, that the Zimbabwean bowlers with fielders on the boundary would pull that back. That's what's happened. I think if you had asked Singapore if they were 83 for 3 after 10 overs, be pretty happy with that. Joined in the commentary box by Adrian Abraham. Adrian, your thoughts on this innings so far?
Tino, good to be back. Yeah, we saw Singapore really take advantage of the power play early on. And since then, Ryan Bull has really found his rhythm. Why did I pick 2 wickets? Just ineffective.
And the other night we saw him take a bit of stick in his first over, bowled a little bit short, which is something he struggled with, including the tour to Bangladesh. Sometimes he just too short, too early. It's a problem that's common with wrist spinners. So I hope that the start that he's had today, getting a bit of a turn, extra bounce to get that first wicket. We'll learn that that's how he needs to try and start his spells, especially in the shorter version of the game.
Quite a handy batsman as well. I've seen that just equally as effective, particularly tonight.
Oh, classy. It's well bowled. Good work from Chari down at the third man boundary. Singapore player will come back comfortably for 3. It was nicely played. He saw the pace from Tino Mtumbudzi. There's been talk of the Zimbabwean bowlers bowling slightly quicker. Today, just gliding that off the face, finding that vacant third man area. It's
mark. Timothy David is slowly moving along, 14 of 15. We saw this last night as well. It's quite slow to get into some things, but then we've got to move on. As we see there, it's gone for 6. As I was saying, he's just getting into his rhythm. Smashes that to cow corner.
This is a good hit from Tim David. I've expressed that I'll be seeing him go straighter rather than across the line. If he's going to hit it that well, there's no problem whatsoever. And back, he's interested for a while, but got over his head quite comfortably. And get back with square leg, so 93. 3. Singapore moving on to. Looking dangerous once again.
Goes again, straight down the ground. Another 6. Tim David really finding a spot here. He smashes that straight down the ground.
Yeah, this is too full. We saw that yesterday. As soon as the bowlers went a little bit too full, especially the spinners, people were taking them on straight with ease. Which is not easy to look towards. You're trying to get that ball as dry as possible. Make sure that it doesn't slip out of the hand. 26 sixes so far in the tournament.
Just punch that for a single. Off the mark. Not afraid to take the aerial route, Timothy David. So how effective that has been in his part of the game. Just getting moved along now. Singapore brings up the 100. 100 for 3. 10.5 overs. Zimbabwe Singh takes guard. Just be a single. 11 overs done. 101 for 3 Singapore.
For 3. It's been a good start by Singapore. Come out here this evening and been very, very aggressive. Opening here today. The business early. Not Wellington Masakata and the Zimbabwean seamers. Inside edge, I think, onto the pad.
Fantastic opening partnership. Rohan Rangarajan unlucky to be run out there. And his opening partner, Chandramohan, soon followed. This partnership is key for Singapore. As Timothy David takes strike. Just a single.
Those of you just joining us for this live stream, it's Game 3 of the Singapore T20 International Series, powered by Instagram, coming to you live from the India Association ground here in Singapore. An absolute downpour hours before the scheduled start of play. Credit to the groundsmen and the match officials who did as much as they could to get us onto the field of play. Has been reduced to 18 overs. In the air. And gets to the boundary. Well, when he first hit that, I didn't think he had enough on it to get to the boundary, but I'll tell you what, it's not a bad willow that he's holding in his hands there. Good shot from Manpreet Singh.
likes to play his shots, does Manpreet Singh. As you mentioned, it didn't look like it had enough to get to the boundary initially, but diving effort from the fielder still goes for 4. Sean Williams been good tonight. He needs to work some magic to break this dangerous partnership. So how effective it was yesterday.
An expected response from Sean Williams. Quick flatter delivery. Making sure Singh can't get under that as he did the previous delivery. Again, out comes the towels. Very difficult to grip that ball with the wet outfield that we've got. So the ball goes with that grass. Makes up all that rainwater. Gives himself some room bowled by Sean Williams. Will just be the 1 to end the 12th over. Singapore 109 for 3. Under 9 for 3. Singapore. That opening partnership was what really set it up for them. 62 from just 37 balls between Rangarajan and Surendran Chandramohan. This one is also starting to get a decent move on to David, yesterday's hero at the bat. Manpreet Singh, 26 from 12.
Ryan Bell back into the attack now. Been good so far tonight.
Wonderful strike. Now this is more the Tim David that we saw yesterday. Bit of air from Ryan Bell. I don't think you can afford to do that to a man who's in this kind of form. Clears the boundary with absolute ease. 27 tournament sixes now. Pressure on Ryan Bell. 6 already from just the first ball in the over. This time it's the exact same treatment.
Ryan Bell has been so good tonight, but he's just not finding his length in this over. As Tim David hits back-to-back sixes, quickly moves on to 41, just 22 deliveries. Where does Ryan Bell go here now?
This time, flatter outside the off stump, straight to Sean Williams. That cover point. This time it's gone straight there, looking to go for Richmond. Ryan Bell will be relieved that he hasn't managed to get the connection that he had to the first balls in the a good catch from Richmond Mutumbami, and that's the end of Timothy David for 41 from 24. Destructive once again. Singapore 121 for 4. 21 for 4, Singapore, as Jana Prakash comes out to the middle. So how handy he can be with the bat, not just the ball last night. Comes in to replace Timothy David. He's looking dangerous. And back-to-back sixes. And Ryan Bell, once again, getting a crucial breakthrough at just the right time. Extra cover, Sean Williams. Been a pretty mixed over. Couple of big sixes from the first two balls from the man who's just departed, Tim David. And the wicket, of course, a couple of balls ago. To go in Ryan Bell's third over. Nicely bowled. That's where you want to be, Ryan. End of the 13th over, 122 for 4. Richard Ngarawa back into the attack. Straight to the man at backward point. It's a bit earlier. His debut cap for Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe's latest T20 international. Richard Ngarawa receiving that from Stuart Matsingiri himself. And caps for Zimbabwe. Inexpensive. Ngarawa went for sticking his first couple of overs in T20 international cricket. 2.2 overs in 26 he's gone for already. Baptism of fire.
He bowled a really good first over, but then was just found his leg in the backhand. And then Roman Bhattacharya just took him to the cleaners. Couple boundaries there. We'll want to finish strongly tonight on debut. Conditions not ideal.
I don't think he would have played too many international games in such conditions. As we said, going to the grounds as much as they could to try and get people onto the field and play. Whenever representing your country and get an opportunity to wear the badge on the chest, you've got to make the most of it. Man at middle, Ryan Chari. I don't think that he was anywhere near enough. No, he wasn't good enough.
Not just brilliant with the ball, but can do bits with the bat as well. This young Jana Prakash. He gets off the mark with the boundary there.
crowd that's come out this evening. People out here at the India Association ground watching Singapore play the last 2 evenings. Wide. It is. Seems to be a couple of them.
Good crowd from what we saw earlier today. It was raining down. Passing showers, but it started raining in the evening as well. As I mentioned before, credit to the crowd. So for actually getting in a game that we lost a couple of overs, still great to see some cricket Sunday night. Association now.
Garava will be at and those boundaries are just help on its way up to the man at front leg and from Garava 1 short of his 3 overs he's gone for 39.
Certainly has been a baptism of fire here. Young man coming into ball, playing his first T20I. Brilliant shot by Manpreet Singh. Multiple here. Called it wide there. Just starting to get a move along here. Manpreet Singh, 19 off 11. Supported by Janak Prakash on the other end. From 2. It's been a long over, hasn't it?
It has been a couple of extras and the 6 didn't help that either. Good finish to an expensive over. 14 gone, 139 for 4. When you come back in the next over, you're going to have a couple of new voices in the commentary box. It's going to be James Magalian and Navneet Krishna.
Good evening, James. A nice Sunday evening to watch some cricket. Combined with a lovely round here and watch your local superstars.
Isn't it just? And the weather was very inclement to say the least leading up to the start. But haven't they just done a great job to get this ground ready? And just look at the crowds have turned up. And at the moment, they're watching a fantastic game of cricket. All to play for. 18 overs aside now, reduced because of the weather. But I think we're in set for it. It's a game of cricket. Great wickets to bat on. And we've seen some wickets. And I think it's anybody's game at the moment.
139 for 4 and 14 overs, striking at end to the over. Well on course for 100. Probably have to say they'll do job well done if they go into the break with 180 on the board.
It's Neville Matika coming in. Yeah, yesterday I think I was saying that I thought that Singapore were probably undercooked by about 30 runs. That they played on this wicket during the summer T20 World qualifiers, scored 180 plus 190 to the ball. So 150 was certainly at least sure, and will clearly prove that on a very easy pace wicket. But what an innings from Paras yesterday, wasn't it?
Fantastic pull shot here from Manpreet Singh, but there is cover in the deep. Looking for the second. The fielder does well, just the single, and that brings Janak back on strike. We are coming back to what we were saying. He made line work of that chase yesterday to Paras Katka. Arc and arc. Saw some good hitting by the top three of the Singapore batting lineup today. Singing David's right after. And now the onus is on Janak Prakash. Manpreet Singh, the middle order to deliver for them. The foundation is set. The opportunity is there for them to go big now.
first six. Singapore's batting lineup has remained pretty much the same six last few tournaments.
Another short ball. It was only a short fine leg, no deep fine leg. He tries his best to keep that in. Well, that's going to be touch and go. It's going to be interesting to see if the umpire signals 4 there. We'll check with the fielder, and it looks like it'll just be the 2 runs. An excellent effort in the deep there.
Yeah, conditions not ideal to field, but you know, given they've got a game of cricket here, these guys are the ultimate professionals. You know, in the field, you know, just the effort. You know, we could have had a game of, but they're out there doing the best, and both sides, you know, are really, really giving it the best shot.
Shot once again. Well, it took its time to get to the batsman. Excellent piece of fielding there in the boundary line, and the Zimbabweans are giving it their all. Every single count or every single run counts in. You never know. In a T20 game, it might just go down to the very last over. These runs saved. Fantastic piece of fielding there.
Yeah, I like the approach that Manpreet has put in today. The shift he's put in is 22 or 15. Yesterday, he seemed a bit in his shell, a bit somewhat supporting Tim David, and today he seems to be expressing himself a bit more, taking a bit more of the responsibility now. Tim David is out.
Interesting from Jalan Prakash that he's covering all 3 strokes. Clear intentions. Go down the leg side. 15 overs completed, 147 for 4.
Yeah, 3 overs to go, and we could be on course for probably another 30 runs, if at least if Singapore get to work against the Zimbabwe bowlers. But I like the look at Janet Prakash, and for a guy who's 20, I think, he's really showing a lot of maturity. Yesterday he showed a lot of guts, taking on the short ball, and again when he bowled, he bowled in the right lines, and generating quite a bit of pace, but generally not bowling too short. Very impressive then. Today he seems to be playing a bit more of a different type of innings, but he has some good look about him, and I think Singapore have got some star in the future.
He was striking at 140 yesterday. He's going at 200 in the little innings that we've seen of him today. Just a little pause here. Looks like we're all set. It's going to be the captain, Sean Williams, to bring himself on from the far end. His final over. Remember, just the 2 bowlers that can bowl their 3 bowlers that can bowl their quota of 4 overs. And Well, this is where the experience comes into play, right? Not required at this stage, you'll probably have to say going down the ground was probably the better option. Janak Prakash gets bowled in the process. Singapore 147 for 5.
Siddhant Singh coming to the crease, another youngster, and again another impressive guy for the future. I'm not sure, is he mainly a bowler in the Singapore team? He's more of an all-rounder, I would say.
Good piece of running between the wickets, between the two batsmen there. Siddhant was quick to respond to Manpreet, who pushed for the double. Every run counts, like I said. Yeah, back to what you were saying, James. Bowling all-rounder. Siddhant, haven't seen much of him. And that's the beauty of tournaments like this. Opportunity for the youngsters to showcase what they have. Express themselves. And we saw plenty of debutants, a couple of them for Nepal. We saw Garava making his debut for Zimbabwe today. Is that a missed opportunity? The umpire will signal wide. Almost get the feeling that there was a chance for a stumping there.
On 50 for 5. Williams comes in. Well played, worked it for 1, looking for 2. Will they get 2? No, probably not. Safer to call back for the second. And Manpreet's on the strike. So the job now really for Manpreet is really to see this innings through. They're batting deep now, 5 wickets in hand, and really probably throw caution to the wind. Manpreet may be the more experienced of the two, so he can probably see it through on his own.
Very, very disappointing from the Zimbabwean fielder there, and you can see the expression on Sean Williams' face. Mutumbami as well. Regulation stop for the fine leg third man fielder. Went straight through his legs, and they gave 4 runs to the Singapore batsman. 155 for 5 now.
Great work there from Manpreet, playing it so late, just in front of the stumps, working it as a late cut. Misfield, of course, but probably with the shot that Janak Prakash should be aiming to play when you have an experienced campaigner like Sean Williams.
Looking to go down the track and inside edge though. Goes down to the square leg fielder for 2 runs. Sean was economical on day 1, picked up a couple of wickets as well, but we've just seen the way this pitch has behaved over the last couple of days. It's obviously favoured the batsman a lot more, and bowling figures don't seem to be making for a pretty reading.
Sure. I think the bowlers today, the spin bowlers in particular, have probably got more reward for probably more, putting it through more, giving it more of a rip as well. Yesterday they were certainly taken to the cleaners somewhat.
Once again, fantastic fielding there in the boundary line by Zimbabwe. They certainly saved 1 run. Every run counts, like I said. Let's take a quick look at this. Goes down to the deep square leg region. And you have deep square leg running all the way on to what is possibly fine leg. And a dive right at the very end. And the few little fans that we have here appreciated that effort from the Zimbabwean fielder as well.
Yeah, they really are taking it serious now. The Zimbabwe fielders, they've worked very hard, bowled well, difficult conditions. In a way, you're fielding first in conditions which you're not familiar with. It rained a lot, so you don't know how well the ground is drained, and they've done very well. And apart from one or two misfields, they can be quite pleased with their efforts in the field.
Right, 160 for 5 in 16, just 2 overs remaining. And Singapore will be very happy with this performance with the bat. 10 runs to the over. They'd take that any day, wouldn't they, James?
Sure, and some more. I think I would say Singapore would be disappointed if they do not get 180 as a minimum. 5 wickets, you should really be looking to probably get at least 10 to 12 off the next 2 overs each.
Short ball, puts it away. 1 bounce into the mid-wicket region, 4 runs. A good start to the 17th over. This is the penultimate over of match number 3 of the Singapore Tri-Nations T20I. Brought to you by Instagram. Matsiva trying to go short. Manpreet Singh says thank you because he's in good form. 35 of 19. And he's going to be the key now for Singapore. 190 might just be on the cards.
Isn't this just the preparation from a batting perspective that Singapore are looking for prior to their World Cup qualifiers in Dubai in October?
Takes him on the offside this time, just a single though. Sweeper cover to cut things off. And it gives Singapore the opportunity to try out different combinations, batting order, bowling options as well as they head into the qualifiers next month.
Exactly. Batting, I've just been very impressed with the fact that they've kept us basically the same top 6. 1 or 2 may have changed depending on the conditions. That's a great shot, straight through to long on. 9 off the over already.
It's not often you see a horizontal bat shot past the bowler, slaps that past the bowler and the umpire, and it races away to the boundary line. Precision there, bisects the long on and long off fielder, no chance whatsoever, and he picks himself 4 more runs. Manpreet Singh is racing along here.
I don't think Sean Williams is going to be particularly happy with the execution of this over. There would have been clear instructions about where to bowl. And he's just put the second ball there, third ball of the over, second one for 4, right in the slot, same position, and he's been dispatched 4 runs. So I think Sean must be tearing his hair out really, because he set a field, and I don't think that Matsiva is really bowling to that field.
Yeah, hasn't necessarily been the best death over by Matsiva here. He's been shot on a couple of occasions. Got the treatment, this time full and outside off. Plenty of width on offer, good piece of fielding once again. But not good enough to cut down the 2 runs there. An expensive over so far, 11 of the first 4 deliveries. Zimbabwe have already conceded 171. They will need all their batsmen to come good and come good all together, because it will require some effort to chase this down today.
Oh dear, that's a wide, so Matsiva is really not sure where he's putting the ball now, and this is, I think it's obviously his 4th and last over, and maybe the conditions haven't helped, wet ball, and I have some sympathy with him in that sense. Maybe he's trying too hard. Let's see, can he make a recovery the last 2 balls here?
Adventurous there from Siddhant. Looks to scoop it past short fine leg. Unfortunately not making good enough contact, and he lobs one straight to the wicketkeeper.
think Madziva must thank me for that one. I gave him some encouragement there, and he clearly followed through with that wicket. Well done.
172 for 6 now. Singapore with just one delivery left in the 17th over.
No, they clearly are expressing themselves, the Singapore batsmen. They're showing a lot of intent. Yes, wicket here, just playing an extravagant shot, but it shows that they have confidence, and confidence breeds confidence for the rest of the team. So I like the approach that Singapore have laid out today in their innings. It must have been maybe partly what happened yesterday, and just really maybe taking on Zimbabwe.
Wide once again from Madziva. Comes back for the second, an opportunity for run out. Completely unnecessary from Singapore, and they give Zimbabwe another wicket. 2 was definitely not on the cards. Good piece of fielding in the boundary line once again, and a good throw in. No mistake by the wicket keeper, and another wicket goes down. There you go. It ricochets off Ryan Burl. Good piece of keeping there from Mutumbami. Wasn't the best of throws, but had ample time to collect and come back to the stumps. Singapore 173 for 7. 1 over left. And a familiar face makes his way to the centre. The captain of Singapore, Amjad Mahboob, comes in at number 9 with 6 deliveries to go.
I'm pretty sure that Mahboob will just look to get Manpreet Singh back on strike. Not play anything too extravagant. 3 wickets in hand, but just don't waste that first delivery.
Sensible from the captain there. He is happy to just tuck it away to the side and take a single and move on to the non-strikers end, because, oh, my apologies, it was Manpreet Singh who got the single, and it brings the captain on strike for the first time. Been pretty expensive as Garava on his debut match. 27 and he's into his 3rd over now. 5 deliveries left in the innings. James, you called 180, I said 190.
Yeah, I'm ready to pay out.
James, you say, that went straight to the deep cover fielder. He made it look so easy. For a second, it almost felt like there wasn't actually live action. But Garava finally gets his wicket, his first wicket in international cricket. And an easy catch at extra covers there gives Zimbabwe wicket number 8. And Amjad Mahboob will have to walk back without troubling the scorers.
Yeah, Manpreet will have to see this through now. 4 balls left. Let's not waste the last 4 deliveries as far as Singapore is concerned. Four runs there. Doesn't matter how it comes. Worked it over. Fly slip, I should say, I think.
Very, very erratic there from Garava. full outside off. All the batsman had to do was get some sort of bat on it, and he did exactly that. Raced away past the short third man fielder. 4 easy runs and 178. Fantastic team effort by Singapore this evening. Almost every single batsman contributing to the team's cause, and every single one of them have struck at good strike rates. So they've kept the scoreboard ticking along.
Yes, and they've all taken responsibilities at individual moments. Where's that going? That's going up in the air, and that's out. Manpreet's gone after we said that he could bat through, but what a great innings. 41 from 22, a strike rate of almost 200.
It's some sort of a mini collapse that we're seeing here from Singapore. They've lost 3 wickets in the last 4 deliveries, and that went really, really high. Mutambami makes no mistake. We saw him take one skyer a while ago, and he was up to the task on this occasion as well. And a good innings comes to the end. Manpreet Singh, fabulous contribution in the middle order. With just 1 wicket left and 2 deliveries left, what do we have, James?
Well, 190 will take some doing. I think 180, fantastic. I'll take that.
James, 178, 2 sixes and 2 deliveries, and we go to 190. Surely that's possible with number 10 and 11 batting.
I'm sure, and I'm going to back Vinoth and Ahan, because I'm sure if they're going to follow their other teammates, they're going to have it in the bag.
Right in the block hole by Garava. Well, sometimes you wonder why that didn't come much earlier. That's exactly what you would want to do in the death overs. Not much that the number 10 batsman could do, just the single, and that leaves us with 1 final delivery in the innings.
No, you made a very good point. Yesterday, I think the Nepalese seamers at the end of Singapore's innings were exactly right on the crease, Yorkers, full length. Very difficult to get away. And on this sort of wicket, it's really the only length you can bowl.
And there you go. Strikes it down the ground. They will come back for the second and chance for another run out. Is that going to be one? The umpire's not interested, so 2 runs to Singapore. And they get over the 180 mark. So 181 for 9 for the home team, Singapore. And Zimbabwe will have their task cut out when they come out to bat in a little over 10 minutes, as they will be chasing 182 in the allotted 18 overs. James, who's your money on?
Well, Singapore must be confident. I would say that this is certainly the score you would be looking for, 10 and over on this type of wicket. So they really have got the runs on the board, put a bit of pressure on the first 5 overs. I think that's going to be key as far as both sides are concerned, and then we can see where it goes from there.
Absolutely, and if you have a look at the scoreboard on your screen, fantastic contributions from the top order here by Singapore. Rohan, Chandra Mohan and Tim Davids contributing, scoring a bulk of the runs, and in the latter half of the innings it was Manpreet Singh who contributed with the bat. All in all, a fantastic team effort, 181 for 9. We're going to be back very shortly for the chase. and welcome back to the Indian Association Cricket Ground here in Singapore. What an exciting first innings. We saw Singapore batsmen come out here, express themselves and put a very, very competitive total on the board. .182 Zimbabwe will need to chase down this total and get their second victory in the series. It's going to be Regis Chakabva, who unfortunately missed out in that first game against Nepal. Not a good start from the captain Amjad, coming back into the team after the rest last evening. First delivery called wide. Joined in the commentary box by James McGillian. Good evening, James. What an exciting first inning.
Isn't it just? Yeah. The score is is challenging. 10 and over, 18 overs, 2 overs less than yesterday. And it'd be interesting to see how Zimbabwe approach this. Certainly the first 5 overs, I think we can see. Not a great start from Mahmood here. It's his first game. But maybe the conditions a bit cold, maybe damp with the rain we had this afternoon.
Definitely outfield a bit damp when the Zimbabweans are out there earlier, but he's only bowled a couple of balls. Wouldn't expect the ball to be difficult to handle as of yet in terms of seam or the ball being a little bit wet. Off the mark, Regis Chakabva.
Coming into this tournament, notwithstanding the game against Nepal, but prior to this tournament, how have the Regis and Brian been performing?
Well, Brian only joined the team in Singapore, wasn't in Bangladesh with the team, and he was the top run scorer in the domestic T20 competition. Regis Chakabva, to continue responding to your question, had a pretty decent outing in Bangladesh. Got a well-played 40 not out against Afghanistan in the first game in Dhaka. And then another cameo 20, I think, towards the end of the series, but not short of game time, more time at the crease. Made it very clear that he was disappointed with the manner in which he got out the other evening against Nepal. Looking to address that. Nicely bowled, very nicely bowled, Brian Chari. Looking to get down the wicket, first ball to Amjad Mahmood. He saw him coming in and dug it in short. That's good cricket.
Yeah, Mahmood clearly understands his own game for a start. He's been playing for many years for Singapore, now their captain, and he understands the wicket, so well played.
Ball already from Amjad Mahmood, very experienced, as you say. He'll know that Zimbabwe will want to have a good start. And after Brian Cherry telegraphed his intentions to come down the wicket towards him, next ball, slow ball out the back of the hand, exactly where he wanted it to be.
Yeah, I think I've seen the pace on the ball from the Zimbabwe seamers was probably into Singapore's hands, and I think opening with Mahmood is probably a smart move. He's not as quick as the other seamers that Singapore have, and he can probably read the wicket pretty well too.
Uphold. Definitely got his ring up now. The skipper went wayward down the leg side his first couple of deliveries. But this time, he's certainly got himself in the area that he wants to be. So, other than those two wides that he gave away in the first couple of deliveries, just the one run off the bat and a ball to go in the first over. Good start. Needs to make sure that he closes it up well.
True. It's also early days. It's no time to panic. 2 quick wickets, and really that will put pressure on Zimbabwe.
Slope again, beautifully bowled. Looking to get down to the other end, Regis Chakava. Deciding against it. End of the first over. Zimbabwe 3 for no loss.
So we appear to have seen from both ends young speedster Janak Prakash, who I think is a star in the making, full of confidence, but also with quite a mature head on his young shoulders. He's burst onto the scene in the last 12-18 months, and I think he's going to be here for a while.
Enterprising from Regis Chakava. He knows the man is up in the circle at 45, so all he needs to do is just help it along its way. You were talking about Mahbub not being the quickest. Janak certainly got more pace on him. Intelligent cricket from Chakava, just using the pace.
Janak Prakash comes in, and Regis tries it again. Doesn't come off this time.
Yeah, worked the first time, not this time. For Regis Chakava. I think that's the kind of shot that you want to use as an element of surprise. Once you've done that first ball to a bowler, he's going to go back and think, right, where am I going to put this ball that he's not going to be able to do that again? Ooh, wide, that'll be called. Very wide.
True, but again, I like Janak Prakash's enterprise there. You know, he's not frightened to ask some questions of Regis and Brian Chowry. So wide, yeah, but let's see. He's making him think. Regis Chakava is he's obviously played a couple of shots working to fine leg, but he's going to make sure that Regis Chakava knows he's around and he can work him around the wicket.
This time, full and wide outside the off stump. Regis Chakava just managing to get the bottom edge on it. Watched him last night, and he's got some good shape on the ball. Needs the ball to move away from the right-hander when he pitches it up. Also had good carry through to the keeper. Strong young bowler. Outflange. And it's gone. Down to the third man boundary. Just talking about the bounce that I saw him get yesterday. Here is another example of it. Regis Chakava just looking to come forward, and look at that. Massive bounce over the man that slipped. making its way very quickly down to third man.
Now this is a pretty good start from Zimbabwe. No need to panic. Yeah, this is the power play. The time to score quickly, but it's been a quite a mature start from both openers.
Just taking a step across to the offside, so he can tuck that onto the onside, register cover. It's important that Zimbabwe are not getting those boundaries. They're still looking to rotate the strike. You don't want a situation where you've got several dots in a row and I'm not able to get to the other side. 10.45 required run rate. Looking to play that through the offside. Ryan Cherry. Yet to get a quick single. Zimbabwe, 2 overs gone, no loss.
Sean Williams is next to come in, followed by Richmond, Mutu Bambi, and then Neville and Ziva follows up at 5. 14 for no wicket.
Captain Amjad Mahbub to continue. You just get the feeling that this over, Ryan Cherry might just look to get after him a little bit. Nicely bowled, no width. Ball skidding onto the right-hander, cramping him up for space.
Yeah, this wicket's not holding any sort of dangers for the batters here, so I think they can trust, if they are going to hit through the line, they can trust they can pierce the infield in this power play period. They just have to work out the pace of Mahbub, who's put in a few slower deliveries, and calculate their risks with that in mind.
He's down on one knee again, register cover. Looking to play that little paddle sweep over the man at 45. This time he looked to get a little bit more on that. You know how small these boundaries are. Quick outfield doesn't really need to get so much bat on it. Just the angle, the pace coming off the bowler will get him a boundary.
Amjad Mahbub is just adjusting the field, got a man in at long on, probably for the attempted 6 straight down. Let's see if the plan works. Mahbub in.
Full and straight, making sure that Brian Chari can't get under that one. This manages to punch it down to the man at long on.
Yeah, Mahbub is an experienced campaigner, and in terms of the captaincy, I think obviously the Singapore team looked to him as the man to really set the strategy and the field placings. And Tim Davids did a very good job yesterday. Probably his first time as Singapore's captain though, so therefore sometimes your experience is required. Wow, what a shot there. He's hit through the line, as you said, hit through the line on the wicket. That's 6 runs.
Yeah, just giving himself some room, register cover, advancing down the wicket slightly. That's a good shot. Not easy to hit that ball as well as he did over the bowler's head, especially when back of a length like that. Goes again, goes big. There's a man. Get just one.
Coming up off almost the third over, so just really working towards the 10 runs required per over. See what they can do off the last ball of the third over. Well, that's out, straight back to the bowler. He misread the pace there. Good slow ball from Mahbub, and he just fed it back as if it was a catching practice over in the net. Yes, out of the back of the hand, he misread the pace, straight back to Mahbub. Fantastic piece of bowling there.
That's a really good piece of bowling, well disguised, that slow ball. And that's the end of Brian Chari for Zimbabwe. Struggled today, 2 from 9, Zimbabwe 22 for 1.
Sean Williams, the captain, coming in. Now the required rate, remember, 15 overs left, and it was creeping above 10 and over now.
Crucial breakthrough from the skipper, Amjad Mahbub. Equation 160 required from 90 balls. Change in the bowling. Vinod Baskiran, left arm slow bowler. Man up in the circle at mid-off. Regis Chakaba might look to exploit that area behind the bowler. It's a good start. Darted in, no room to manoeuvre.
Exactly, yeah, it's a good piece of change of bowling here from Mahbub to bring on the spinner. And he looks as though, only from the first ball, he looks as though he's trying to push it through a bit more. Where's that gone? That's gone to the mid-wicket. 4 runs.
He's not happy. Baskaran, I'm not sure why. Sliding down the leg side, and Chakapa knows that there's one man back on the leg side boundary, and he's behind square, so vacant spaces in front of square in that mid-wicket region. Kyle Corner taking advantage of that.
It's not a wicket you bowl short on, so Baskaran must learn from how well Zimbabwe bowled in the first innings. Where's that gone? That's another 4.
Nicely played again from Regis Chakapa, this time getting on one knee inside the line of the ball. The man who was a backward square had gone straight up, and this time deliberately getting inside the line of the ball and hooking that ball behind square for another boundary. So Regis Chakapa wanting to keep up with the rate here. 152 now Zimbabwe require from 87 balls. Straight back. And into the front screen. Another boundary in the over for Regis Chakapa. 12 him in the last 3 deliveries, and he's looking to get a move on with things.
This is just exactly what Zimbabwe are looking for now, to really push on the accelerator, really, this power play. And Regis Chakapa has really taken the mantle on now. Sean Williams hasn't faced yet, so I think Regis is really looking to make a statement here.
He's not stopping. Regis Chakapa, great work from David at mid-wicket. Now it's been a good over for Zimbabwe. Even though there's 2 dot balls in there, 12 runs from it, all to go. Got to be sensible here, Regis Chakapa. Wow. Very sensible in the sense that he's come down the wicket, got to the pitch of it and lifted it over the top for 6. Good finish to over for Zimbabwe. 4 gone, 40 for 1. Zimbabwe, 4 extras in that, 4 overs into the innings. Of course, this game reduced to 18 overs. So the power play is only 5 overs. This will be the last over of that, but a good start from Regis Chakapa, 34 from 15. He's got some crucial boundaries for Zimbabwe early on. He's joined by Sean Williams, who faced only 1 ball in that first game for Zimbabwe against Nepal. He's had a bit of a dry spell with the bat over the last few matches. He'll be looking to improve on that. Wide ball called from the pavilion end.
Yeah, now's not the time to panic as far as Singapore is concerned. That was a bad over from them. Great over from Zimbabwe. So now I think we need some wise words from the skipper now to Janak. Just relax. Do what you've been doing very well. Get through the crease. Keep your lines right as you've been bowling. Prakash comes in to Williams.
Yeah, that's well bowled. Straightening up on Sean Williams. I saw yesterday his first wicket. Pitched up, swinging back into the left-hander. Something he does when he pitches the ball up. Just gets a bit of shape on it. Sean Williams will be aware of that.
And Regis Chakapa is really taken the pressure off the Zimbabwe team at the moment. Their first 3 overs they started under the cosh, and hopefully they can build on that. Sean Williams, clearly experienced campaigner. What's he done with that? That's straight to the fielder.
Yeah, Sean Williams will have seen that the surface is good. See that he's not afraid to go out there and play his shots short of runs, as we've mentioned. Not much of a better surface you're going to get to try and get yourself back into some form. Different players go about it in different ways. Some look to hit their way out of a bad patch. Sean Williams, not that kind of a player. Not one who very often has lean spells that extend for too long a period. Cut away. That's a really good shot. It's an area he's strong in, Sean Williams. Square of the wicket on the offside.
Fantastic bat speed there. Got in position quickly. Moved his weight to the ball and hands through there. But well done, well played. No risk shot there. If it's his strong shot, he plays it very well.
I like the fact that the ball's coming onto the bat as well. Change in the field. So somebody's gone back to exactly where that boundary went. Cover on the boundary, on the offside. Deep square leg and fine leg have come into the circle. It's got to bowl wide outside the off stump then.
Well bowled there. I think it probably took a bit of pace off that one. Janak well bowled.
Conversation between the captain, Amjad Mahboob, and the senior statesman in the Singapore side. Tim David, handy with the bat today, very good with it yesterday as well. that suggestion he's just given, the captain has taken on board. He's brought back the sweeper from the offside into the circle. Deep square leg has gone back on the boundary. Cut away by Sean Williams. Not much width given there, but we've talked about how good he is in this area outside the off stump. This time, just lifting it over the man. That backward point and another boundary in the over. That's a really good shot.
Yeah, Sean Williams playing it very late here. He's staying in the crease, giving Janak no indication of where he wants to hit it, and he's using that experience to work the ball to his strengths. One ball to go, 49 for 1. Janak Prakash is going round the wicket, adjusting the field here. Try and probably not give... No, he's going back over. Okay, he was originally going round, maybe not to give Williams enough width. He just needs to bowl a bit more to middle leg, I think. Let's see what happens. Excellent into the over. 8 off it, 9 off it actually, and 49 for 1. And we're joined by Nav Krishna. Thank you, Tino. And yes, 49 for 1. 5 overs gone. How do you see it, Nav?
Well, on course with the required run rate, just about 10 to the over, 5 overs in. And the good thing about this chase is that there's no sense of urgency. They're happy playing off a few dot balls. There's the odd single or double coming their way, and they're making sure they dispatch the loose delivery. So a very mature chase this from Zimbabwe thus far.
Yeah, and I think Regis will have a lot to do with the rest of this game. He's really taken on board, scoring over 200%. Sean Williams is very controlled, supporting. And where's that gone? That's out of the ground, is it? Yes, 6 runs. Regis Chakabava onto 40 already, 55 for 1.
A fantastic strike. Well, Salador Vijay Kumar, he was on the receiving end from Paras Katka last evening. Paras Katka took him to all corners of this park, and Chakabwa starts off in similar fashion. First ball off Vijay Kumar, and he takes him over mid-wicket for a handsome 6. He's looking good, looking confident, clean hitting thus far from Chakabwa. And Zimbabwe are well on course in this chase.
Yeah, made room, opened up the leg side with his movement of his front leg, and very, very quick hands.
And he goes again! That's 2 and 2 for Chakabwa, and he's turning it on here in Singapore at the Indian Association. A similar line, a similar length, and Chakabwa says, thank you. You don't bowl length to me in small grounds. I'm going to take you out of the park. And he does it with ease, 2 and 2.
32 sixes in the tournament so far. This is fantastic entertainment. I hope you are enjoying it at home wherever you are. We are certainly enjoying it here, and the crowd that have turned up on this Sunday evening are thrilled to bits. This is great cricket, great spectacle for Singapore cricket.
Well, Paras's half century came off, I think, 25, 26 deliveries, if I'm not wrong, last evening. Chakapwa is well on course on beating that quite convincingly. 48 in just 18 deliveries. Well, he's just one hit away. And Vijay Kumar, probably better off coming over the wicket and darting it into the right-hander, because this angle is working for the right-handed Chakapwa.
And he doesn't appear to be getting much purchase on the wicket. It doesn't look spinning at all. And is that going to be out though? That is out! Well caught. And Regis Chakapwa probably tried it one too many times there. He'd already scored 14 off the over, and he didn't need to go one more. And well done, Vijay Kumar, for sticking to his line and obviously going round the wicket. And a fantastic catch there. So Zimbabwe 63 for 2. And I think we've still got a great game on our hands.
Well, against the run of play, probably the commentators cursed once again. Just when I was saying Chakapwa well on course to get his half century, he hits one straight along on, right on the boundary line there. And I think it was Surendran Chandramohan at the boundary line there. Good catch under pressure. Finally, some success for Vijay Kumar. He's been expensive. 63 for 2 into the 6th over. We've seen plenty of sixes and boundaries being scored today. Has been a run fest. Both teams scoring over 10 to the over. And the few fans that we have who've turned up at the Indians Association have been treated to some excellent display of batting.
Still a long way to go, 64 for 2.
They're going at well over 6 to 10 to the over, which is exactly the required run rate, but they can't afford to get their foot off the pedal because the required run rate is almost 10 to the over even now. And which is why it's so important to put up a good total should you win the toss and bat first, because pressure can act in funny ways in a T20 game, James.
Yeah, it's reduced to 18 overs as well, so to add that into the mix, you kind of worry, are you getting ahead of the rate, losing too many wickets, and maybe batting first, you don't necessarily have that target to give you that pressure. Zidane coming in again. Well bowled, great line. Well, misfield there, pick up just a single.
Well, spare thought for the fielders, guys. It is obviously pretty slippery out there with all the dew that we're seeing because of the rains. batsman who's come in is Tino Mutambotsi. Sean Williams will have to anchor this innings, and much will depend on how the captain goes from here. 8 of 6. He's got those 8 runs by virtue of 2 excellent square cuts that went to the boundary. A very big thank you to everyone tuning in from all around the world over the last couple of days. We've had plenty of action. Down the leg side this time, doesn't make good contact, Sean Williams, but with fine leg inside the 30-yard circle, and the bowler Siddhan straying onto the leg stump. Gone for 4. Unfortunately, Sean Williams finding the fielder there.
Yeah, that was definitely a 4-ball missed out there by Williams, but not to panic. They've got 5 off the over already, and just work the last 3 balls around. And I think they do need to bat deep. One of these two must bat deep and work around the rest.
Zimbabwe got the better of Nepal in game number 1, courtesy of a remarkable partnership by Ryan Burl and Richmond Mutambami. Both of them are yet to come. We saw Ryan Burl bowling an excellent spell of leg spin bowling earlier today. So very, very critical to Zimbabwe's performance is Ryan Burl's contribution. But that's the beauty of the tournament, like of this stature and this kind, isn't it, James? 3 teams, very evenly balanced. Difficult to pick one from these 3, you would have to say. We saw good looking cover drive. Will that find the gap? Excellent piece of fielding there. Does well to stop it, but not good enough to stop 2 runs though. Nice looking cover drive from Mutambotsi. Yeah, coming back, James. What it does is makes it very difficult to pick a winner. Choose one from these 3 teams. We saw Zimbabwe beat Nepal, Nepal beating Singapore, and this game certainly hanging in the balance. Excellent for cricket fans tuning in.
Correct, yeah. No, first time seeing Zimbabwe here is great for Singapore fans, great for Singapore cricket, and even good for Zimbabwe. They're not involved in the upcoming World Cup T20 tournament. They need competitive cricket, and Singapore are certainly providing it tonight, and Nepal were a couple of nights ago.
Well, and talking about 3 rankings itself, Nepal ranked 11 in the T20I rankings at the moment, with Zimbabwe at 15 and Singapore 21, but not too sure of them. Obviously beating Nepal in the final of the T20 Asia qualifiers, advancing to the world qualifiers, the global qualifiers, is testament to the fantastic cricket that Nepal have been playing in the recent past.
Yeah, and going back to that qualifying tournament here in Singapore, where Singapore brilliantly qualified to Dubai next month. Leading up to that tournament, they had a series of matches against teams, overseas teams, I think from Pakistan, and that was tough cricket, and that really, really prepared them well for that tournament. And this is equally tough cricket, and this is really what Singapore need if they want to go up that ladder from 21, break the top 20 perhaps, and challenge, regularly challenge countries like Zimbabwe and regularly challenge Nepal, of course.
Sean Williams gets that away past short fine leg to the right of short fine leg, and he gets 4 runs there. He started off well, as Sean Williams was very disappointed with how it went 2 days ago when he got out for the very first ball to Sandeep Lamichhane. 13 of 9 with 3 boundaries, looking good, the captain.
Yeah, and having a left-right hand partnership, it's not going to be easy for Singapore to bowl at. So I would imagine that Sean's aware of that. So if he can be there He's experienced, but B there being the left-hander, it's not going to be easy to bowl or field when you're having to work the ball either side. He's reversed that one, and where's that gone? Fantastic fielding, is that? Yes, and his direct hit. Well, that's great cricket. Great cricket all round. Lovely shot there from Sean Williams. Deserved better perhaps, but equally the fielding was fantastic. Great throw-in.
It was an expensive start to the over in the previous over for Vijay Kumar, but he got that wicket right at the very end, and that of Chakabwa, and so he earns himself the second over. But he's been very expensive, Salador Vijay Kumar. Mutum Botsi is eyeing the leg side boundary. Mind you, the square boundaries aren't that long either. The straight boundaries are obviously very short. We've said that a few times. It will be interesting to see what line and length Vijay Kumar goes with. We've seen bowlers happy to drop it short, getting the batsman to play square rather than straight. You don't want to be bowling length, especially when you're spinning it into the right-handers.
Yeah, the spinners in the first innings I thought were particularly impressive. They weren't afraid to put it up there, and even though there was a little bit of spin, they used their ability to adjust the speed and the flight particularly well. And I hope really that Singapore can learn from that. You know, they're not just here to compete and to win. They can learn from these test playing countries and see how they can adjust to wickets and bowl differently on these wickets.
Much better this over from Vijay Kumar. Happy to concede the 4 singles in the last 4 deliveries. But Zimbabwe won't be complaining either. 8 overs into the second innings, and they'll be very happy with how proceedings have been. 80 for 2, well on course to chasing this down, on par with the required run rate. Certainly does look like we're going down to the wire here. Exciting game on our hands on a Sunday evening here in Singapore. And guess what? Sean Williams, well, that was what we were talking about. Bowling into the left-hander, spinning away, and Sean Williams fancies his chances against Salador Vijay Kumar, and he hits one over mid-wicket for a handsome 6. First 6 for the captain Sean Williams, and he's well on his way. What started off as a decent over ended up with 14. So Vijay Kumar has plenty to think about. He conceded 22 in his 2 overs yesterday, and he's conceded plenty today as well.
Yes, it's not been the best of weekends for Vijay Kumar, bowling-wise. Siddhant replaced at the other end now, 86 for 2. So maybe Mahbub, the skipper, will probably look to change things up. I think he needs a wicket pretty quickly.
An appeal for an LBW there, the umpire not interested. Seemed pretty straight, probably going up, going over off stump. Let's take another look at this. Oh, definitely seemed like inside edge off onto the stump, onto the pads. It's great to see the kind of viewership that we've been seeing for this tournament from across the world, James. And from what I understood, apparently at one point of time last evening when Paras Katka was going bonkers, there were over 50,000 concurrent viewers watching live action of the Nepal-Singapore game. That says a couple of things. One, the kind of knock that Paras played last evening, and number 2, I wouldn't be surprised if over 90% of them came from Nepal, because that is one cricket frenzy nation that love following their team no matter where they play and which part of the world they play. But fantastic numbers for the tournament.
No, I agree. And I was reading on the ICC website, they had a full report about the game. Paris's innings, of course, which dominated the whole match. Tim David's knock was fantastic. But the whole coverage, whether it's through streaming, through the ICC, is really testament to what Singapore have put on here, this tournament. And people turning out, people watching, people reading. It can only be good for the game in this region.
Yeah, absolutely. You couldn't have said this any better. Full marks to the Singapore Cricket Association for putting up a fantastic tournament here. We may not have a final, it's just 6 league games, but we're seeing cricket of the highest quality.
Yeah, Zimbabwe know they're in a game tonight, and 93 required of 57. It's going to take some doing, but they have 8 wickets in hand. This is a real game of cricket. I hope you're watching and enjoying it like we are here. Sean Williams works 1-2 long off there. 4 singles in the over. Probably looking for a boundary. I would have thought his last 2 balls. Sedan 0 for 12 off 1.4 overs. He can be quite happy with his performance tonight, wouldn't you say? Pretty consistent. Bowled a good length, kept it up there. I think bowling too short would probably be worked either side of the wicket. And he's not in any rush there. He's willing to look at his field. He runs in here now. Let's see what happens. Put the kibosh on that one. But Sedan has bowled well, I think. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, he's been decent, definitely. And when you consider that almost every single bowler has gone at over 10 to the over, Sedan's more or less on a ball. So, in a game where there's 10 runs being scored every over, if you're conceding 6, you'll be happy the captain would take that.
Yeah, boundaries are what Zimbabwe need. So Sedan has put a little bit of pressure in this over onto the Zimbabwe batters. See how he can finish his last 2 balls.
What's been a hallmark of this innings is exactly this, running between the wickets. They've rotated strike well. They haven't hesitated in taking the singles and the doubles. The boundaries have obviously come in practically every single over. They haven't forced the issue. They haven't tried to do too much. No sense of urgency. But it's nice, smooth and calm for Zimbabwe at the moment. Very, very well on course. A mature chase this.
Agreed, yeah. No half chances even this pair have given. They've added quite a lot, maybe 30 in this partnership, 30 to 40 in this partnership, and I think we got more to come from these two, I think, the way they're batting.
And this is going to do Sean Williams a world of good, because he didn't necessarily have the best outing in Bangladesh in the recently concluded tri-series. I'm going to come back to you right after this over. 93 for 2 at the end of 9. Thank you for tuning in on a late Sunday evening. A little past 11, and we still have a few overs to get through. through before we come to the end of play. And a very big thank you for everyone tuning in and being patient all along. The groundsmen have done a fantastic job despite all the rain that we saw today. We have exactly 9 overs left. And a little under 90 to get for Zimbabwe. This is going to be one exciting contest. We've seen 2 fantastic games already. And it's going to be captain to captain. Oh, I'm sorry. It was captain of yesterday. It's Amjad Mahbub has come back today, so it's going to be Tim Davids to Sean Williams. I was coming back to what I was saying, James. Didn't have the best outing in Bangladesh in the tri-series against Afghanistan and Bangladesh. We know what Sean is capable with the bat. He is a quality act with the ball and with the bat. Got out for a duck in the first game. So it wasn't necessarily going his way, and he came in to bat today knowing very well that he had to score big because they were chasing a massive total. I'll be very happy with how he started off. Having said that, all eyes are on Mutumbotsi here for an expansive cover drive that's given him 4 runs. Excellent shot. And he's giving his captain very good company in the center right now.
Exactly, yeah. Sean has brought over a relatively inexperienced side, and there's extra pressure on him, so to get some runs is definitely going to help his cause no end.
Yeah, and with the likes of Hamilton Mazakatsa obviously retiring very recently, a legend of Zimbabwean cricket. Obviously no Brendan Taylor, no Craig Irvine, so Sean knew that a lot will depend on how he does. Just this little innings, it might just be 25 runs, but I think that's going to give him the confidence that he needs at the moment.
'83 or 50 now. There's a no-risk shot there to mid-off, long-off, I should say. So with Timothy 100 of the 9th over, not quite the 10th over. 22 down, they really have batted well, these two, and set the stall for the remaining 49 balls of this innings.
It's just great to see the way Zimbabwe have gone about this chase, and at the 10 over mark, Zimbabwe exactly have 100 on the board. So it's 100 for 2 at the end of 10 overs, and there's a change in the commentary box as well. Gonna have Tino come in. James, gonna see you around in a bit.
Sure.
Welcome, Tino.
Thanks, Nav. Good work, James. Healthy looking scorecard at the moment for Zimbabwe. 100 for 2. Sean Williams, the captain, in amongst the runs. 26 from 17. Tiram Tumbodzi starting to get on with things a bit, looking good. 18 from 25. Richmond Tumbami to come, man of the match in Zimbabwe's opening encounter against Nepal. Partnership so far this evening, 41 between Regis Chakapa and Sean Williams.
There's an appeal. Did he get some bat on that? The umpire says no. Well, nod of the head from Siddhant. Let's take a look at this again. Sean Williams was looking for that cut shot that he loves to play. He didn't seem to be interested. He obviously knew that he didn't get any bat onto that, and a good call from the umpire. I was just talking to James, telling him that this little knock is gonna do Sean a world of good. He was not amongst the ones, didn't have the best outing in Bangladesh, It might just be 26, but enough for him to get that momentum.
White ball called. I agree with you. I was talking earlier that he's not one who normally goes for too many innings without runs, Sean Williams. And when that happens to you, sometimes you don't know how to bring yourself out of that. I'm talking about other players who want to hit themselves out of a lean patch. Sean Williams, as I said, is not one who normally goes through this period of 5-6 innings without runs behind him. Got a 20-odd to win the game in Bangladesh in Zimbabwe's final group game against Afghanistan. And then only the one ball he faced against Nepal here 2 evenings ago. So definitely this time spent at the crease will be good for him, and I think the surface is something that's helped him. Ball coming onto the bat with the seamers. He's one who likes to play strokes. Quite early on, he's exploiting that square boundary on the offside. And now just that cover area where he plays so well as well.
It's interesting you spoke about the surface, and I'm going to come back to you right after this delivery. Down the leg side, and easy pickings for Mutambotsi. Picked that over, short fine leg, and it races away for 4 runs. They're doing this nice and easy as Zimbabwe. You can't afford to err in line. Siddhant did that on this occasion. That was easy.
Yeah, he's got inside the line of that Mutambotsi. Put that away with ease. He's a guy who plays well up and over extra cover. You saw that a couple of overs ago. Also plays very nicely through the onside. Mid wicket to about square if the ball is full. That's good connection. On both sides of the wicket.
Fantastic looking cut shot there. Will this find the boundary as well? No, not at this stage. This is not what Singapore will be needing. A poor effort at the boundary line. And Zimbabwe pick up number 2 in 2 now. That was a good looking cut shot. Little bit of width that he had to play with. And Mutambotsi is looking very good.
Yeah, he's struck that away beautifully. Just waited for the ball to come to him. He was looking to exploit that gap to the left of that man on the boundary. He should only have got 2. It's the placement that has made him have to run all that way and then try to go down and pick it up. He should have picked it up.
You know, in the fielder's defense, this isn't necessarily the friendliest outfield to be fielding on. But on that occasion, no excuses whatsoever. They went straight into the fielder's hands and should have been picked up. Yeah, coming back to what you were saying about the surface, Tino, you mentioned that it's obviously a lot easier, friendly batting conditions at the moment. But surprisingly, on all 3 occasions, the captain winning the toss has chosen to bat first. In T20 conditions, sometimes you probably prefer going and chasing. You know what to chase. And we've seen both the teams chasing win the 2 matches prior to this as well.
Personally, looking at today's surface and the first day's surface, obviously foreign conditions to me and the Zimbabweans, I would have batted first and I won the toss. Quick single. Come back to that. End of the 11th, 112 for 2.
You're watching live action from match number 3 of the Singapore Tri-Nations T20. I brought to you by Instagram, and that little scorecard on your screen depicts a very little nice story for Zimbabwe at the moment. Partnerships right from the very beginning. Chakapa looked very good today, got 22 with Chari and then 41 with the captain Sean Williams before he departed. And the captain Sean along with Mutambotsi have put on 49 in just 33 deliveries, putting Zimbabwe in a very comfortable situation right now.
Tim David, saw a little bit of him with the ball yesterday. Oh, down the wicket. Full toss from him. And Sean Williams has put that away for 4. Dance down the wicket. Maybe this might have just slipped out of Tim David's hands. Acres of space on that leg side boundary. Sean Williams taking advantage of that. 116 for 2 now, Zimbabwe. 66 runs required from 40 balls now.
Down the track this time, makes good connection, and he sends that pass long on for 6 runs. 10 of 2 deliveries, and he's taking Tim David's on is Sean Williams. Stylish looking shot, poses right at the very end, one for the photographer. Sean Williams, we're seeing the best of him, and this is what he's capable of doing. I'm going to stick my tongue out and say this, but this is Zimbabwe's game to win, Dino, from here on.
They've done well to get themselves to 122 for 2. Surface is good. I was having a conversation earlier with Zimbabwe batting coach Stuart Matsingiri, and he said to me, your thoughts on the pitch and what would be a decent total? I did say 170. And it looks like possibly was 20 runs shy of that. But I think Zimbabwe have been sensible in the manner in which they've gone about their innings. Never easy on any kind of ground if you need to be chasing 10 to the over.
Goes down again, up in the air, there's long off, in contention, but all he can do is watch the ball sail over. And another 6 for the captain, Sean Williams. Tim Davids has absolutely no answers to the Zimbabwean captain. Down the track once again, no hesitation in stepping out. And he sends that comfortably over the side screen. And Zimbabwe are just 60 short of what will be their second successive win.
Tells you he's got some confidence now, Sean Williams, when he comes down and plays the spinners like this. And this time, he takes it over the onside field for 6. Down on one knee, Sean Williams is meaning business here for Zimbabwe. Brings up his 50 in just 25 balls. The 36th 6 in the tournament. But Sean Williams has decided that he's going to take Tim David to the cleaners. 22 off the over so far, with 1 ball to go. This time finds the gap wide of the man at mid-off. He does well to make sure that doesn't go over the boundary, keeping the Zimbabweans to 2, 136 for 2 after 12.
Right, it's going to be the captain back with the ball because he's tried a few options, none of them have worked, and he brings himself on now, Amjad Mahboob. He has to break this partnership.
It'll be called wide. Now he's a nifty little bowler. We saw him start off with a couple of wides in the first over. But look at his figures. 2 overs, 1 for 11. The important wicket of Brian Chari, who was destructive while he was there against Nepal a couple of evenings ago. But Zimbabwe just got to be careful. He's an intelligent bowler. They don't need to try and get after him. If the ball's there, yes. Otherwise, he's only got a couple of overs to go. Play him out. Not the easiest surface, I think, to have to come out and start scoring on. So the fact that they've got a good partnership at the moment, 74, both well set at the crease, must be a little bit circumspect of Amjad Mahboob.
There's just subtle variations in his pace that sometimes is very difficult for the batsman to pick, and I think that's what did Brian Chari as well. He was a lot slower than he expected, played a little too early, lobbed it straight back to the bowler.
For 2, Sean Williams, very alert, gets back. Good running from the Zimbabwean batsman. Amjad not happy. First of all, I put my foot down to stop that. You can't allow them to get 2 runs there, boys.
You know, a striking feature of this chase from Zimbabwe has been the fact that they haven't necessarily tried to force the issue or try to push for runs. It's happened, it's come. They've rotated strike well. The partnerships have come one after the other. A very mature chase from Zimbabwe.
Nicely played by Tino Mtombodzi. And he finds the gap. It's not going to get over the boundary because that's an excellent bit of work from the Singapore fielder. Long on. Applause from the captain and keeper. And quite rightly so. Talk about those partnerships in Zimbabwe's chase was something that we discussed with Sean Williams at the toss, and he said certainly want to address as the top order, making sure that they get a good start for the team. Well weighted by Tino Mtombodzi. Won't get the single. Again, that subtle change of pace you were talking about from the captain.
Such a good exponent of the slow ball, Amjad Mahboob. And with almost every single bowler going over 10 to the over, here you have the captain of Singapore conceding less than a run a ball. Just goes to show the kind of performance that he's put up with the ball. And they certainly missed his services when Paras Katka went all guns blazing last evening.
He's got a wealth of experience, doesn't he? 37 years of age now. Amjad Mahboob being a wonderful servant for Singapore cricket.
Very comfortable in the centre, don't they, Sean and Mtombodzi? You know, in absolutely no sense of urgency, like I said. Even singles and the odd double or the boundary will do from now on.
Absolutely, but like I said, to work hard to get themselves in this position. And when you get yourselves in these kind of positions, they need to make sure they take the team home. And leave it to the next man. When you've got a bit more pressure in another game on another day, it might have to be you to do it. Big appeal. That will be called not out by the umpire. 13 overs gone, 142 for 2. unlikely looking scorecard for Zimbabwe today. Register cover 48 from just 19 deliveries, 52 not out from 27 balls for the captain Sean Williams, who's been short of runs, and then 32 from 23 from young Tino Mtombodzi. Change of bowler for Singapore. Ahan Acha bowling to Tino Mtombodzi. Slow left arm orthodox. Straight to the man from Tino Mtombodzi. I'm sure Sean Williams at the other end is licking his lips. Loves the ball turning into him. We saw him get explosive in the last over. To Tim David.
Just when it looked nice and easy for Zimbabwe, they give Singapore a wicket. And credit to the youngster Ahan Chahar. Kept it nice and simple, straight down. Missed the line completely, did Mutambotsi, and easy work for the wicketkeeper.
Yeah, not a good shot this from Tino Mtombodzi. After the work that he's done, he'll be disappointed to go in that fashion. He goes for 32. Zimbabwe 142 for 3.
It's going to be Ryan Bull to join the captain Sean Williams in the centre. He's had a good tournament, has Ryan Bull, so far, with the bat, with the ball. Played a clinical performance in the previous game to get Zimbabwe across the line along with Mutambami. And he was quite exceptional with the ball this evening, picking up a couple of wickets. But there's some unfinished business here. 40 still required, and Zimbabwe would not want to take this lightly. They have to do that in 28 deliveries, with the captain batting very well on 52. But it's not over until it's over. Cricket's a funny game, anything can happen, and Zimbabwe will want to make sure that they keep their heads down, play this out over by over, and see this through.
I think the good thing for Zimbabwe, than having put themselves in a good position, is that the captain is out there. He's going to steer the ship, hopefully. Runs on the board, getting some confidence back. Ryan Pearl, a man who's in decent form himself. 41 not out in Zimbabwe's opening game against Nepal. Made some good strokes towards the end of the innings to get Zimbabwe across the line. Cut away by Sean Williams. Just get one. Also in the runs in Bangladesh in the last tri-series, Ryan Bull, so Zimbabwe will be happy to see that. Possibly the next man in will be Rishman Mutumbami, who's got some team news with regards to Timson Maruma's injury. He's struggling with his left quad, so whether he'll come out to bat if needed, we'll have to wait and see.
Very sensible here from Ryan Bull. Happy to just tuck it away on the leg side, get that single and bring the informed captain back on strike, because he's been striking it well. But you mentioned it.